Hi, this is Tim.
This is Eric.
And this is Derrick.
And we are ICT-radio.com.
I was wrong when I said it's easy. I was right when I thought you should. Ain't never been this lonely. Ain't ever been this good. So let's shut up, get down now, honey, light up. Let's go now, baby, fire up your guns and baby, paint the town, burn it down. Baby, you're so cool when you make me crazy, and I'm crazy all about you, baby. It ain't right to feel this low. Wish I could, but I can't get stoned. So let's shut up, get down now, honey, light up. Let's go now, baby, fire up your guns and baby, paint the town, burn it down. Baby, you're so cool when you make me crazy, and I'm crazy all about you, baby. It ain't right to feel this low. I wish I could, but I can't get stoned. So let's shut up, get down now, honey, light up. Let's go now, baby, fire up your guns and baby, paint the town, burn it down. Baby, burn it down. Baby, burn it down. Baby, burn it down.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Thirsty Thursday podcast. I'm here with co-host Tim today. He's our program director. Derrick has some personal business he's dealing with this week, so you will not hear him. He will be back next week, I assume. But Tim, great substitute, and he's been filling in a lot more as well. So it's always good to talk to Tim. Tim, what episode are we on? Do you even know?
Is
I have
it
no idea.
55?
I want to say it's 55. I want to say. Am I wrong?
I think it is number 55.
It is 55. Number 55. I like that. So for those of you who are loyal fans of the Thirsty Thursday, I'm somewhat disappointed in you guys for not hitting us up last week. We embedded at the beginning of our episode a way to win free Taco Fest tickets, and nobody hit us up.
I just still can't believe that.
Shame on all of you.
And you missed out.
I'm kidding. So we ended
If you weren't
up
there.
giving them away, and yeah, it was a great time, wasn't it, Tim?
It was. I had a fabulous time. Ate a lot of tacos, drank a lot of beer, and I did a lot of one of my favorite things to do, and that's people watch.
So before we get too far into it, Tim, the song you heard at the beginning was Burn It Down by Tequila Ridge. It's one of their new tracks, and I believe it'll probably be on an upcoming album or something. But they've released it to us, and it was actually a live studio recording all in one take.
Wow.
So I know you know, Tim, how difficult that had to have been.
Yeah.
Especially with all those instruments involved. And
that's impressive. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Well, I mean, so, after we went to Taco Fest, we did get a chance to go and catch Tequila Ridge Saturday night out at Mad Rocks in Derby.
Yep.
And I could see how they could pull that off. They were fabulous.
I didn't even know where to look.
Yeah, there was a lot going. I know I was staring at the guy playing the steel guitar. I met him, and
I don't know his name, but he kicks major ass.
Yeah, he was fabulous.
I just find myself laughing because it was so good. I
know. And then they pull the whole playing the guitar behind the head trick, and
oh yeah,
and the leads are still just they're still playing their leads while they got the guitar behind their head. It was, they put on a hell of a show.
Yep, sounded good. There was quite a bit of people there, and I'm gonna toot their horn, Tim. Their food is pretty good. I enjoyed it.
It was good. My wife and I shared a big ass nacho tray. It was huge, and it was very good, I might say.
Dude, that pizza was the shit.
I did have one piece of the pizza after I had stuffed my face with all those nachos. I gotta try that.
So on their menu, if you've been to Mad Rocks, it says they have the best pizza in Derby, and I haven't really had much pizza in Derby, but I feel like that'd be kind of hard to beat. I don't know. I thought it was pretty good pizza. Overall.
It was good. There's another place over there. I can't remember. Taliano's, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But that's very good as well.
It is. Yep. Regardless, it was a good time. I had a blast. And going back, rewinding a little bit. So, we gave out quite a few tickets to Taco Fest. We hope everybody had a blast there. I know we gave out, I think, 12 tickets or something like that. And hopefully everybody had a good time, that won some tickets. But one of those tickets we gave away to our good old pal, James Shawn.
Uh-huh.
And Derrick kind of made this up to where he was going to give James a ticket, but James had to wear an ICT radio shirt, and he had to enter the jalapeno eating contest, or he wasn't going to give him a ticket. So James agreed to it, And what ended up happening was, we were kind of talking him up all day, like, hey, man, you ready for this? You ready for this? And, he was pretty – I don't know. I felt like he was kind of nervous for a while. What do you think?
I think so. I know that he didn't really know what he was getting into. I don't think any of the contestants did, but they laid down the ground rules once he stepped on that stage, and I could see his legs were just a churning. I was cracking up the whole time, but it was, the rules were as many roasted jalapenos you could eat in 1 minute.
And those will make it hotter, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it does. It does make them hotter.
All that oil comes out of the seeds and shit.
Releases all the oils and steps it up that next notch.
I bet it was easier to eat that way though, although it might have been hotter just because it had been softer probably.
Well, you know what I mean? Said that the first one was really roasted, and he said that it did make it easier, but he said that all the ones after that weren't as roasted. So it made it a little bit, more crunchy. And he said that first one went down. He's like, oh, I got this. But then he, bit into the next one, and it was a little
crunchier.
Yeah, so I had a little bit more trouble with it. But
I could see how there'd be some problems if it was crunchy. I could probably slurp down some fucking jalapenos if they were kind of mushy almost,
Man, it seemed like it went so fast.
Yeah, 60 seconds went by so quick.
We were standing there, and I think he had eaten 2 of them, and the guy was like 30 seconds, and I was like, damn, that's already 30 seconds.
Yeah, they're passing them out like they were gonna eat more than 15.
Everybody, so I don't know how many they put initially on the table for everybody.
15, I think.
Was it 15?
Yeah.
And then they said, hey, does anybody want to try to, because the world record is 15.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they asked anybody, you want to put out any more than 15? And of course, James is like, yeah, give me 2 more.
The dude was fully confident.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's like, I'm going for the world record. And it probably would have been, a legit deal because of all, it was a whole festival thing and set up, and it was a competition and timed, and you know.
I almost feel like those sort of things would probably go off of weight, though. You know what I mean? Because not all jalapenos are the same size.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you'd have to weigh it, officially weigh
right.
it. Because
there'd have to be some kind of stipulation.
Because the record's probably about 15 or a certain, grams or whatever.
So they were telling us, somebody was telling us, I can't remember who it was, that they had a record attempt and the guy got 15 down, but then left too much of the end of the jalapeno.
Oh.
And they had to disqualify him.
Dude, that sucks.
And I guess he lives in Kansas City.
Wow.
I guess this dude's, and then fucking James was like, oh man, I was hoping that guy from Kansas City wasn't showing up. I heard about this motherfucker.
They just get destroyed.
Yeah. But yeah, man, he fucking pulled it off.
So for those of you that weren't there or saw, James won the whole competition in front of, I don't know how many people were there. There's at least 5,000 people there.
Yeah.
At least. And
that's what I was thinking.
Dude, this guy straight up, they ask him his name and he just grabs the microphone and starts yelling about ICT radio and
it was perfect.
Yelling about, hey, you should listen to him if you're in music. You need to get your music on there. If you're a music fan, you need to go check it out. And they really couldn't stop him from doing it because he pretty much yanked the microphone out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was,
he grabbed that thing and he just proceeded to advertise the shit out of the station for us. So thanks, James.
Yep. Thank you, James. I couldn't be happier with the result. You made $100 in the deal.
Yeah. And he got a trophy and a big check.
He got a big check like Happy
He got
Gilmore,
a Happy
dude.
Gilmore check. Dude.
He did. That's the funniest shit, dude. And we were walking by all the other radio station tents with this big ass check. I don't know. We need to get a tent there next year, Tim, or something.
Yeah, I talked to that.
Somebody was higher up, right?
Huh?
Somebody higher up, right? In the whole
organization. Yeah. I guess she's like the promoting director or something like that.
Nice.
I got her information, but yeah, she's like, yeah, we'd love to have you out here. So
yeah, that'd be cool.
I look forward to that next year because that was a lot of fun. And I got to meet a lot of people and, directly because of what James did, there's a few people.
Oh yeah. We were just kind of bystanders hanging out, eating tacos until that happened.
Right. Yep.
But yeah, tacos were great. It was kind of hot when we got there, but got a couple tacos in us, got some cold drinks, and I think the clouds kept coming and going, so it was kind of nice after a while.
Yeah, it was. It was a beautiful day.
It was a good day. I walked a lot, so I got some good exercise in.
Yep, and the people watching was...
Oh, the people watching was great.
It was awesome.
If you love people watching, you need to make sure you go to Taco Fest now.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, and get your early bird tickets because they're only $5, dude, when they start putting them on sale.
Yeah.
Don't wait until the end and pay 3
I think
times.
they should do that. They should do that more than once a year.
Well, they do all those other festivals, though. That's the thing. They do, beer and bacon. They do,
is it the same organization?
Yeah, it's Festive ICT.
Mm-hmm.
It's a company, and they put on multiple festivals every year, different kinds.
Well, we need to hook up.
I'm wondering when they're going to get the fucking Wiener Fest going, dude.
That'd be a good one, too.
All these different hot dogs and brats and, craft fucking wieners. I don't know.
Wieners.
Wieners.
That sounds dirty.
Wiener Fest, dude. What? I mean, you can't call it Hot Dog Fest. You can't call it fucking Brat Fest.
You have to call it Wiener Fest.
You would, because wieners expands over hot dogs, brats, sausages. They're all wieners. You can only imagine the shirt and the logo, but
I know, right?
But I do think there's a market for that because people like a good brat or hot dog or, especially if you get some fucking crazy people in there like stuffing with, I have this idea for like a brat and I think it'd be delicious. Make it like a biscuits and gravy brat, dude. Like it tastes like biscuits and gravy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With like some sausage mixed in with it. And yeah, I think it'd be good.
We'll do it up.
Well, I need to get I think I just got the attachment for it for a KitchenAid. So I might be doing that soon.
An attachment?
Yeah. So you can get all these attachments for KitchenAid mixers, like stand mixers. And you can grind your own meat. You can, make pasta. That sounds so funny to say. You can make pasta. There's tons of different things you can do. I mean, it just depends on the attachments you have. But there's all sorts of add-on attachments you can get. But one of them is, where you can get the intestines and you can hook it on the end and you feed the auger and it'll push it right into the casing. So,
all right.
I can make my own breakfast sausages or whatever.
I would definitely use the grind my own meat setting.
Oh, I have, dude. I have, man. I got some hamburgers in the fridge actually that were, I took some steak and some fat and a bunch of fresh herbs and vegetables and just threw it in there and cheese and jalapenos and shit and just mixed it.
Oh.
So those burgers are going to be good. But
Eddie Murphy's Mama's burgers?
Yep. Just really good.
A little green pepper and onion in there?
Yep. A little garlic.
Yeah.
Parsley. Mm-hmm. So I really like making delicious food, just try to make it as fresh as I can because although there are a plethora of amazing restaurants and stuff like that in Wichita with really innovative people who make fantastic food, I like to make my own stuff at home too, just because I like to think creatively. Like I said earlier about the biscuits and gravy brat, I can't go buy that anywhere, but it sounds delicious. I don't know. It might not be, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of restaurants, they'll sell, they're going to run food costs about 30%, Tim, or lower.
Uh-huh.
So if you're paying $10 for that sandwich, it's only going to cost them like $2 to make, So how can I spend $5 at home and make just as good or if not a better product? So now don't get me wrong. There's some stuff that I go out and get definitely at restaurants because I'm no expert in fucking sushi making or,
or Lebanese food.
Yeah. Or, there's lots of stuff that I don't know how to cook. I choose definitely not to try because you can just go get it. It's delicious. You already know it's going to be good. But like steak, for example, I don't go out and order steak because I don't feel like they can fucking cook it near as good as I want it to be, So there's stuff like that that's kind of give and take. But
yeah, I mean, my wife and I, we love to cook together and create stuff, and
it's a bonding experience as well.
You know how she is. I mean, she's always posting that shit on Facebook and always talking about all these recipes.
And it looks delicious all the time.
And she does it.
Makes me hungry all the time, every day, Tim.
She does it because she's trying to save it.
Yeah.
That's all she has to do is go back to our Facebook. So
go look through, because sometimes you'll look at something and you'll never find it again,
Exactly. And that's why she does it.
Be searching. But also, I like that she does it because I can see things that some stuff I'm like, I don't know about that, but there's some stuff I'm like, damn, that looks good.
She does the whole keto thing.
Yeah. I was doing that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason
she's been doing it for, I want to say like a year and a half. I mean, she's had incredible results with it. And I think she just enjoys the healthiness of it and how it makes her feel.
Well, it makes you feel better, man. It really does. Yeah. I was doing it for a while, and the reason I stopped was because, now I'm having a baby. That's kind of how that happened. I think it increased fertility, to be quite honest with you. Just, you're getting all your vitamins and everything's healthier, and your body's running on, it's way more, your body's more efficient, so I don't know. There's something about that soon as that was kicking in with me and, I was feeling great, boom, that happened. So, yeah. Well, and I really would have continued much longer had her diet had to change. You can't do the keto when you're pregnant.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have certain things like, it's a lot of just classic food group things that you can't have with keto, like, bread and, well, that's probably one of the main things. But you gotta have bread and plenty of milk and I guess milk could be considered keto, I guess, if it's cheese or whatever. But there's just, it wouldn't have worked for her staple, so it'd be really hard for me to make all my own food and then her make her own food. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really hard to do that, especially when you have a kid who's a kid.
Yeah.
So now you have to have 3 different things probably because he's not going to fuck, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's a little give and take, kind of, I guess. I'm sure.
It is. I mean,
I'll get back to it, but I felt great when I did it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'm not strictly on it, but I do eat a lot of it and I enjoy it.
Yeah. And I think that's probably a step in the right direction. I don't know if there's, I think everybody's different. There's probably not a formula that fits all, but I think if you're taking parts of it and implementing it into your diet, it's going to be better than if you don't. So,
yep.
I mean, I get like there's a period where your body has to adjust and whatnot. You have to like actually follow it strictly. But I feel like if you're just taking parts of it and kind of casually going about it, it's probably better than if you're not doing it at all. So, I mean. Well,
yeah, and I don't really care. I mean, I don't, have an issue.
Well, you're not a big fella, Tim. Like,
no, I'm not. That's what I mean. I don't have an issue with that. Thank God.
I might be a big fella, but I'm healthy as a horse.
I believe that.
I mean, if you were to look at my like blood test stuff, you'd be like, "Damn, dude." I mean, granted, do I want to get in better shape? Absolutely. Do I love drinking beer? Absolutely.
I'm right there with you, buddy.
But I think there's a happy marriage somewhere between the two.
There is. I mean, you can do it.
There's been studies like beer and yoga, stuff like that people kind of like when people drink a protein shake at the end of a workout, right? Their body absorbs it better. There are nutrients. There's protein in beer. Not much, but there is some protein.
It's like my dad says, man, beer is food.
It is. I mean, look at the Revolutionary War way back then. They didn't necessarily have a huge supply of food, but they could make beer. And a lot of the soldiers would just drink beer because it had some nutritional value. Beer was easy to make, where shipping a whole bunch of food, not as easy, especially in the wintertime. Yeah. So a lot of people survived off of beer. They did. It was supplemental nutrition. I mean,
yeah.
It might not be beer like we know it today, but it was beer.
Beer saved the United States of America.
Helped
create the United States of America.
It did help create the United States of America.
Man, I guess I missed that in history class.
That's something. Well, they're not going to bring that up because then you're going to want to go out and drink beer after school. Well, fuck, it saved our country.
I was already doing that.
Let's see what else it'll save.
Tell me the truth.
But yeah, I had a great time this past weekend. Had a lot of stuff going on. And we got a fucking badass interview coming up here in just a little bit as well. Should we spoil it, Tim? I think we already have, but
yeah.
So coming up here in just a little bit, we have Mountain Deer Revival in the studio at Red Cat with Glen hosting. Great interview, probably the best one yet.
They just keep getting better and better.
Yeah,
I mean, and they are. Glen's just going to keep learning from each one of them, and
it is a great job.
Shout out to him and Luke over at Red Cat. Thanks for what you're doing, guys.
Yep. So I don't know if anybody else is free this weekend. I mean, there's obviously tons of shows every week, all week, every week.
Every week.
It's beginning to get very hard to follow. So if you get the opportunity, listen to the rundown on our station at ict-radio.com. It's probably about every hour and a half or so. So just tune in, you'll hear it. It runs down all the shows for the upcoming week. So it's a good place to check it all out, because before you have to go look at the Go section in the Wichita Eagle, or you have to, scroll through the abyss of Facebook events, which is kind of shitty because it doesn't show you everything, or you have to follow all these bands and really try to pay attention, and then you probably missed the show you wanted to see anyways. So always check out the rundown. You can request it even. So if you request the rundown, it'll play within about 5 songs. So if you're wondering what's going on this weekend, just request the rundown on the station, on the Listen Live page, and just wait, and then you'll know what's going on for the week. But what I'm going to do Saturday, I hope, we'll see, is I'm going to go check out MJ12's album release.
Oh, yeah, that'll be a good one.
They're releasing an album. It's called Apocalypse Meow.
Yeah. We ran into one of the guys at the Taco Fest and spoke briefly with him, and he was thanking us for, everything. And so, yeah, looking forward to getting that new track from them.
Oh, they're awesome, dude. We got to play a show with them at Kirby's a little while back, and they played a couple songs off this album. I don't remember what they are at this point because I was just so in the moment. But they put on a good show. So anytime you get to go see him, definitely go see him. And if you're free Saturday, they're playing Saturday at the Hopping Gnome in the evening. I believe it's at, is it at 7 or 8? I want to say 7. Oh, it's at 8. 8 o'clock at the Hopping Gnome.
Man, I might have to hit that one up. I haven't been to see MJ12 yet, and
dude, they're good.
I haven't been to the Hopping Gnome, and I've been wanting to go.
Yeah, they got some good beer, man.
Yeah, we did get to go to Aeroplanes.
Yep.
That was good.
Yep. I had a beer.
Everything I had there.
I try to get a beer I've never had there every time I go there, because they do distribute their beer to liquor stores and stuff. So I do get the chance to see it and taste it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not feeling like going to this, the actual tasting room, but I always try to find a beer that I've never had before. And I had this double IPA. It was strong as ever. It's like 9.1% or something. And it was, I had one and I was good.
Wow. Yeah.
It's not easy for me to say.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of IPAs. I think we've talked about that.
Well, you're going to like this one I got coming up.
What's the Fruit Bazooka?
Fruit Bazooka.
I'm going to like that. I think that the hoppiness is probably going to be
I think it's going to be
a little bit less with the sweet, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's got 7 ounces of hops in a 5-gallon batch. It's the most hops I've ever put in a 5-gallon batch, although it's not going to be bitter because these are all aroma additions. I mean, all of it was after the boil. It was in hop stand. So so for those of you who don't know, like your bitterness comes from when you're boiling the unfermented beer. Okay, so if you add hops at the beginning of your boil, it's going to introduce bitterness units to your beer. Now, if you add it later, it's that those bitterness units are going to be less because it's not in the boil infusing as long. So what I did is wait until the end of my boil, and then I introduced the hops to it, which it should just be pretty. It'll have a little bit of hoppy taste, not too much, but it'll be mostly flavor and aroma. So I don't think you're gonna be like, oh, this is too hoppy. You know what I mean? You're gonna get the nice flavor and smell.
Well, I'm
Out of
looking
it.
forward to it, man. And the other two that I tried that you made were really good.
I'm hoping I'll have it done this weekend. So
Done and ready to drink?
yeah,
Wow.
I've already added my second dry hop edition. So I boiled a week ago. Was when I boiled in this batch, and then a couple days ago I did the first dry hops, and then today I did the second dry hops. So it should be ready by the weekend here. Yeah, I think so. I'll probably keg it Friday, and let me see. Yep, I'm gonna keg it Thursday, and then it'll be ready to drink Saturday.
Right on, man. Might have to make a special trip. I want to try that one.
Well, if you're going to the Hopping Gnome for the MJ12 thing, it's just
Yeah,
right down
man.
the road from there, and brand new beer on tap.
Well, we might just have to make that happen.
Nothing better than a fresh tap keg, as fresh as it gets too.
Mm-mm. Don't
And
threaten me with a good time.
And this is a beer. This is the type of beer. It's a New England IPA, so it's got to be drank really quickly, because not quickly out of your glass, right? I'm talking about you have to get rid of the beer quickly because
Oh, really?
the flavor starts to go away because of all the hops you put in there. All that flavor starts to kind of dissipate the longer you have it.
Isn't that what Dan was talking about?
Yeah.
With us?
Yep, a little bit. Not all the beers are like that. Some beers, they get better with time, you know. This beer, you want to drink it soon because it's not ever going to taste as good as it does in the beginning. So,
Wow.
and that's why – and you'll see people, go to look at liquor stores at, cans on the shelf, like craft beers, and they're looking at the date. They want to know how long ago that beer was made because it's not the same beer as when they canned it.
Specifically IPAs? Is that
Yeah.
what
Yep. Definitely IPAs. So that's kind of been a problem, I think, with distribution of cans and stuff like that. Not to knock that the beer's not still good, but it's not what the brewery intended you to taste. You know what I mean? The beer is not the same as when you're drinking it.
Well, I guess, I wouldn't know that because I'm not a real big fan of IPAs. So
Right. Yeah, a lot of other beers, you don't have to worry about that at all. It kind of just – now, if you wait a year, it's probably not as good, right? But
yeah.
you get some of those stouts or porters or stuff like that where sometimes it just gets better with time. So it just depends on the kind of beer and the ingredients and all that stuff. But IPA is definitely short lifespan.
Well, I guess we'll hit it while it's hot.
And that's why I wanted to make it, one, because I had it, and two, because I knew I'm really going to like it, so I know I'm going to be able to drink it quickly.
Yeah.
Whereas some things I'm like, well, I'm not sure. I try to brew stuff that I like. Because if not, why am I making it?
Why wouldn't you?
I got that Saison on tap still, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. But it's going to get drank. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I'll help you.
Yep. I'm going to need some help because
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I still got a little wheat beer, that Saison, and then I'll have that Fruit Bazooka, which I think that's going to go so fucking quick.
That is so cool, man, that you got 3 beers on tap, just your own home brews. Just very creative of you, man.
Well, it's fucking fun, dude. It's a hobby, and at the end you get beer. It's a good hobby.
Yeah.
If it's a really good hobby, if at the end you get beer.
Well,
So
I am looking forward to trying them. I will help you drink them.
bring it on. Well, I think we're going to get into our mid-show song here. This is a new submission, Tim, that we just got 2 days ago or so, I think. I think they were just in Red Cat, as a matter of fact. This is Cynthia Rausch Band What do you think about this band, Tim?
Oh, as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, yep, going on the playlist.
Really good. It sounds.
Yeah.
I'm really liking it.
Yeah, I put them right on there. Just a good. When you hear a good song, you know it, and it just resonated and sounded good to me. So
I'll tell you, man, the females we're spinning on ICT radio are fucking bringing it, dude.
Oh yeah,
Dude.
Each and every one of them.
They are just phenomenal.
There's some great female singers out there. Yeah, they wouldn't be on the station if they weren't.
Right. I'm really digging this because we don't have any other kind of country sounding females on the station right now. But I do know some that are from around here. We just don't have their stuff. Also, one of them's from like up by Kansas City or something like that. So we really can't. It's a little bit of a stretch.
Yep.
But, man, I guess we have ICT Rock Girl as well. We have Amanda Zogelman. We have Leitner. We
might that Rise Again.
Yeah, Rise Again. We had what was that band we were talking about? They're no longer together. Conquer the Pacific. She's actually in Yellow King now.
Oh, is that her?
Yeah, she was.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was the singer of Conquer the Pacific, and now she's a guitarist in Yellow King.
No shit.
Yeah, and she's actually has her own side project called Audacious Pulse as well.
What's her name?
Victoria. I think we interviewed her a very long time ago, like the beginning of our podcasting, maybe like episode 5 or 6 or something. It's not even available. It's available only on iTunes. Let's just put it that way, because I don't know how to take it down from there. But it's there's some great female artists here in Wichita and the surrounding area, and it's always awesome to see them just kicking some major ass. Like any day they can just get on stage and kick a dude's ass, it's a good day, because I don't know. I just like to watch it, man.
Oh yeah, me too.
But yeah, coming up here we have Cynthia Rausch Band with Waves, and right after this, on the other end, is Mountain Deer Revival with Luke and Glen at Red Cat. So stay tuned. We'll see you on the other end.
Seems like when it rains it pours, but I won't run away anymore. Flood waters continue
Hi, this is Mountain Deer Revival, and you're listening to us on ICT-radio.com.
Welcome to the Thirsty Thursday Spotlight, featuring interviews from top Wichita acts and artists, recorded live from beautiful Red Cat Recording in Peck, Kansas. Listen up, you knuckleheads. Here's your host, Glenn Shipman.
What's going on a Thursday, knuckleheads? I'm very, very happy to have Mountain Deer Revival in the studio with us today, down here in beautiful Peck, Kansas. Luke is in the studio with us as well. How you doing, Luke?
Hello, Mr. Glenn. How's your week been?
It's been hot, man.
Oh, it's hot as hell out here.
Yeah, it's nice and cool in here, though.
It is nice in here.
It is.
So,
As soon as we're done here, I'm going to go jump in the pool.
well, I
There's a pool?
There's a pool
There's a
here?
pool.
Nobody
There's
told
a pool.
us. Why aren't we doing
I'm
the
telling
interview
you
from
now.
there?
Yeah, we really
should have
should.
brought our trunks. Yeah, I know.
No kidding.
I have my trunks on.
yeah. Well,
I can't see them, but they're on.
well, this podcast already took a twist, Dale. Shoot.
Right off the bat. Didn't take long this time.
It's true.
Let's go around the room. We have, like I said, Mountain Deer Revival. They're in the house with us today. Very excited. We have Monica, you're the manager. Say hi, Monica.
Yes. Hi. Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Look, you're looking beautiful today.
Thank you kindly.
She's glowing.
She is glowing.
Yes.
So I notice everybody else in here is drinking some type of alcoholic beverage, but you're not.
I'm not. I'm about to have a baby here in a couple weeks.
That's
so.
right.
There's
We're
gonna-
having a baby.
Yeah, we're having
MDR.
a
Baby
little
MDR.
band
There's gonna be
baby.
another MDR baby.
That's right.
I hope it's twins.
Oh,
Actually.
man.
I don't wish that on anyone.
I don't either.
Speaking of twins, we have Jake Coffee. Jake, how are you?
I'm good, Glenn. It's good to see you.
It's good to
again.
see you.
It's been a
brother.
while.
It has.
Yeah, I didn't even recognize you. Like I said, when we pulled up, you're looking so good.
Well, I didn't recognize you. You look just like your brother.
I get that sometimes.
Speaking of which, his twin brother sitting next to him, Jason Coffee. How are you,
Yeah,
Jason?
I'm here, and I'm well. I'm glad to be here. This is a beautiful place that I've heard so much about.
Isn't
so
it a cool studio,
It is.
man?
It's awesome. It's
I
a really
mean,
cool vibe in here. I'm digging
You
it.
come in from the road and you just don't expect to see this.
You really
inside.
don't.
It's the color schemes.
Really
it's
hope
just-
nobody runs this for me right now. That's where I'm at. It's been
Don't
one of those
embarrass
days, right?
Dale Shuey, the guitar player. You're in the house too, huh?
Hello, Glenn.
How are you, brother?
I'm great, man. Good to see you.
Congratulations, Papa.
Thank you. We're super excited.
I can't wait to see, man.
a good
I hope
time
it
to
looks
be
more
alive.
like Monica, though.
I know. It'd be a lucky kid. I hope it gets her legs. Got some, like a
happen.
potato on some toothpicks, man.
Dell looks like
Got
you
some-
wrote a chicken in here. If you took
It's
some-
true. It's true. But they're strong.
Very strong. Very strong legs.
Got a strong back.
They're
too.
just very pale.
I haven't snapped one yet.
So sitting in our designated drummer chair, we have Connor. Connor, how are you, brother?
Good, man. How are you?
It's good to see you again, too, man. I can't remember the last time I saw you guys. Was it when we played together? I think so. Back in
I feel like that's probably correct.
Elbow room, I
been a
think it
while.
was.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Elbow room.
Well, I'll tell you, the first time I did see you was at the Elbow Room. It was about 5 years ago, and a friend of mine, Mike Oz, we went to the Elbow Room. You guys had just got off maybe a out of town tour for a long time, and you're just going to play one little show in town. And first song that I heard you guys do when we walked in was Texas Pit Stop, and you guys weren't even a third of the way through it, and I was already on iTunes downloading it. I mean, it was,
Nice.
So if you got that
that's-
69 cents for me, that's where that was at. So.
I'm sure it helped us somewhere down the road. That's
That's cool.
A lot of people. That was a good one for us. A lot of people really like that song, and that's one that we don't play so much live anymore. I've noticed that. I don't know.
It's
It's
the
just
starts and stops, man, and the different
right?
tempos. It's
got
just
a lot of
well.
time signature changes.
Monica's been on our
musician
butt
song.
about playing it more. She's like, everybody wants
Yeah.
to hear that song. We're like, oh, man, all right. So, but we actually do love that song. We just kind of steered away from it because we were writing so much new material
Yeah.
for a while. But now I think we're gonna start playing a little bit more in the live shows again. So
That's awesome.
I'm glad you liked it. That makes me want to play it even more now.
Heck yeah.
So going back and seeing an old girlfriend every once in a while.
That's
you know?
right.
Just less drama, I'm sure.
Well, hopefully.
I don't know if they remember the words.
Well, that doesn't matter.
We'll fake it.
So, when did you guys get this thing started?
Was it 2011 or 12?
It was 12, I
Was it
believe.
12?
I believe it
It
was
was like-
2012.
It was around your guys' birthday, 2011. So almost 2012.
Yeah, so that'd have been
We'll
like
just say
November.
12.
Yeah, we'll just say
It's
12.
like, it was so close
I
to...
moved back up here from Texas, and Jason and I had always been we'd been playing music obviously our whole lives, just like our other guys in our band here, and we had talked about maybe starting something again since we had gotten a little older and a little bit more mature, and chasing something just giving it one more shot, basically to play together as a band. Because Jason and I we've always played, but always kind of apart because we have our differences sometimes, not in a bad way. We just musical taste and things like that.
Sure.
So we wanted to get back together and actually give it a go when we got a little older, and we put this together. And we were lucky enough to get Dell right out of the gate too, and he was a founder. And we just sat in a room one night. And we just realized we had something that was going to be exactly what we'd been chasing.
Well,
So,
I think it's something special. I think you guys, and I was telling Luke before the interview because he was saying that he wasn't real familiar with any of your music yet, and I said, well, I think that if we were to see a post tomorrow that you guys were signed by Capitol Records, I would think it's 2 years too late. I mean, you guys are.
Oh man, I don't know about that.
Sweet.
I said that. I think that you guys are the next big thing that come out of Wichita.
Well, thank you. Glenn.
that means a
we
lot
definitely
to us.
work our butts off. I mean, that's the thing about this band too, is when we put it together, we had a set like structure that we want to do. We knew we were kind of coming in late, not that we were old or anything like that, but we had goals, and so we're together 3 to 4 times a week before we even play a show. We try
That's
to
awesome.
at least 3 we're together, and then we're usually gone on the weekends or here on the weekends playing shows. So we spend that much time together, and when you do that, obviously you're going to have a lot of organic things happen, and
You become more of a family.
Yeah,
it's not so much
this
of
isn't
a
a
work
band to us.
relationship. It's more of a family thing for us at this point. So
The grind is very real.
we've been through so much
We
together
put in-
that it's like, man, you could tell that this is the right place for us right now, and we're happy. And I can't even imagine playing with anyone else at this point because we
man,
have
you know
done
that's
that
right.
much work together to where
Yeah.
I just know that the sky is the limit if we just keep working the way we do.
So Dale, you're one of the founding members, of course, with Jake and Jason.
Yes, sir.
So Connor, when did you guys pick him up?
It's been 5 years now.
So
Yeah.
basically from the beginning.
Yeah.
We had a couple other guys starting off that were buddies of mine that I had picked up when Jake moved to town. They weren't so oriented in what we were doing. They were more metal guys, which was fine. They're great, outstanding
Well,
musicians.
Dale's a metal guy,
and
too,
he
so-
is,
Right.
but he's
Yeah.
Connor also too.
Connor
He played a lot
also,
of
he
that,
comes from a
Yes.
metal background too. But these guys, we had different views, and it didn't quite work out. But when that happened, it was almost a blessing. I hate to say that on air, but that's how we found these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, everything
Yes.
happens for a reason, and once that happened, is when we really started to pick up steam and go in the direction that
It's funny how
we
one
viewed
person
this
will do
band
that,
going.
man.
Yeah, man, it's for sure.
We
So-
really upgraded.
You
in
could feel the dynamic.
every
And it
way.
wasn't
Totally
just
changed.
Connor, so we picked up Connor and Matt at the same time.
Matt's
yeah.
not with us today.
He's
staying
not.
in-
He's out of town.
Yeah, he's on
Lake of the
vacation.
Ozarks.
Must be nice.
That's
I'm
a lake.
jealous.
Yeah, it must be nice.
So who are you playing with, Connor, when this came around?
Man, I was always in a bunch of bands. Like as much as I could, I wanted to play as much as I could. And I met these dudes at a party. Imagine that. And me and Matt really clicked off the bat. And then these guys already had a bunch of songs written, so I felt like it was pretty easy for me and Matt to get in there and start. Get the ball rolling. We played a show like immediately with these guys.
It was 3
Yes.
months after
It was
the
at
first time they
Riverfest.
played
We
at
did
Riverfest.
Riverfest
Yeah,
with
with
you
Cody
guys.
Connor
Johnson.
had to get on a
Yeah.
cart from one of the stages and actually meet us at our stage to play.
Yeah, he played
And
main
he
stage.
almost didn't make it.
Yeah.
We were like, is this guy quitting us already or what? Yeah, he wasn't kidding. He's always been in like 2 or 3 bands,
Yeah.
but now he's in one, so we're happy about that.
We were really stressed out about it
Really
because we were
trying to
excited
learn.
the Riverfest wanted you guys to go ahead and play that show, and so we didn't know what we were going to do. Everybody was stressing out. Everybody didn't know if this was going to continue to be a band or if it was just going to be done and over with. And like Connor said, we found him, and me and Matt Ohm actually went to kindergarten together.
Oh,
So I knew he was a musician, and I reached out to him on Facebook, and I said, hey, do you know any musicians that would want to play bass with Mountain Dew Revival? And
You bass players are hard to find.
he
was like,
responded, he said,
"Yeah, I play
me."
bass."
he was like, me.
He's like,
I will
me, I'll do
it.
it.
It was
Well-
a really easy transition. It worked out perfectly. That's to say the least. It was, and the show went pretty good too, from what I recall.
Yes,
good
yeah, that's
Yeah.
We
good.
did well.
So here we are.
Well, Monica, you said you guys like you're not part of this band. I bet everybody in this room would disagree.
She's the biggest player that we have, actually. So
The hub.
without her, I don't even know where we'd be. And
What
I
all-
really, truly, genuinely mean that.
What do you do? What all do you do for these guys?
Oh, I do everything for these guys.
She
They
changed
know.
Jason's diaper
Facts.
yesterday.
I did actually. It was pretty smelly.
That's
Supervised.
No.
I'm a
That's factual
bachelor.
data.
Supervised.
So basically, when the old band members when they quit, that's kind of when I took a more active role. Obviously, as being a significant other to someone in the band, I was at all the shows. But as soon as they quit, we had some money issues and we needed some marketing help, and I worked in advertising, and so I kind of offered my services and said, hey guys, you need someone outside the band to handle the money. I'm more than willing to help you guys out. And so that's kind of where it all started.
Mm-hmm.
Someone
And-
we can trust.
Yeah.
Somebody that's non-biased.
Well, I think
the
you're kind of
group.
minimizing it, though. I think you work a lot behind the scenes.
She
Well,
does.
that was just
She
the
literally
beginning.
does
all the
everything.
marketing. She does
Ordering,
Finances.
all the
merch,
T-shirt designs,
booking the
Booking.
gigs.
tour managing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Managing,
mean, she
yeah.
wears a lot of hats.
I know
She
when I
does.
reached out to set this interview up, I didn't contact any of you guys.
Yeah.
No,
You need to go
You
straight
know
to me.
better, yeah.
we couldn't do it without her. She takes the reins on a lot of things. 'Cause a lot, like I said, we work so much with the music side of it that we didn't want to handle that aspect of
Yeah.
it. So she came in, and sometimes I feel like she has too much on her plate, but we've tried to take some off her plate. She's like, "Get the hell away from me."
Right?
Yeah.
Pretty
So,
much.
yeah, we're just like, okay, sorry.
This is
We
mine.
call her Momica.
Yeah, Mama.
Yeah, not Monica. Momica.
These boys know I have high standards, so it's really hard for me to let go of a couple things.
That's,
That's
right.
awesome.
She won't just let
works.
anybody in the circle either.
Works her ass
That's
off.
her job.
Like, it's
you need,
crazy.
You need to tell them to learn Happy Birthday.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Little inside story.
I
there.
know,
Yeah,
right?
that is an inside.
We were playing a show with them one time, and I wanted to sing Happy Birthday to my significant other at the time. And
I was like, but
I got up and did it.
Yeah, somebody had to do it.
You're gonna have to do that, Glenn. Thanks.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm not scared.
No, you weren't.
So, take me through your guys' first album. I know you have a new album coming out. We're going to get to that pretty quick. We're going to even play a song from that album. I'm excited to hear. So, but when you guys sit down and start writing the first album, what was kind of the thought going there, Jake?
Like Connor said earlier, we had a bunch of stuff already kind of written, Jason and I, and when we put the structure together of the band with Dell and Connor and Matt, and we actually hit the studio, we knew we needed to have something laid out so people could hear what we sounded like. The funny thing about that, though, when I think back on it, is that I don't even think that we really even knew that what we were going to sound like, because it was pretty new, it was fresh.
We did,
and we had a bunch of different collaborations going on from different styles of music, to where we were meshing them together, and I think it meshed well for the first time. That was something that I listened back to today, and I'm like, you could tell that there was something there, but I don't think that we knew exactly what it was.
Yeah.
See, and we ground those songs into the ground too.
We did.
Like, we really played them over and over and over and over again. So by the time we hit the studio, we recorded things so quickly.
It was
for
a
that
very
one.
rushed process,
and we didn't have that much money to record.
so we ran through it
So
as quick as we could.
Where'd you guys record at?
We recorded at Brick House Studios in
Okay.
Wichita. Yeah, it's not Brick House anymore, but
It's
we were actually
Magnitude, yeah.
this new album we were able to finish there also. So
Nice.
That's where we've done our work at to date anyway. Obviously, it's not probably going to happen anymore. I don't think, but
Yeah,
we'll
we're,
see.
Oh, I know a studio.
Yeah,
I know.
We're actually shopping around. We walked in here. We're all smiles. So that's a good thing.
This is a good thing
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, Luke will treat you right. You know.
I can recommend a place too.
Right?
Again,
So, but back to the question. Like I said, we went in there, and I think we were still, as a band, figuring out our sound. And then what we got, I was happy with. In fact, like I said, I listened back to it, and I'm like, okay, you could see what we were heading towards. But this new one that we're getting ready to drop on August 17th, I'm really proud of. I can tell how much we've grown, not only as writers, but as musicians and as a band together. Like we know what to expect. We know what we're going to hear. We kind of know our styles, and so.
Sure.
And that's with any band. You know, the longer you're together,
It's chemistry.
you get that chemistry. And like I said, it's more of a family. So now we can just look at each other and know kind of what we're leaning towards. So I don't know. I'm just happy. I'm very, very content with where we've grown to be, and I'm excited. I'm excited about the future.
I was listening to Redline when I was coming in, the single you guys had, Redline.
Mm-hmm.
And this is before I knew your story, Dale, about you coming from metal and Connor. And I thought, man, that country guitar sounds like it's got a little metal in it, especially
Yes.
in Redline.
It's a little crunchy.
It's a little crunchy,
I don't know if I can shake it, man. I think it's kind of in my bone marrow.
It's like
for good.
You hear banjos on one end, and then you hear Dale's metal country guitar at the other end.
It makes it. I feel like it makes something new.
Oh,
It
does.
you know,
Well,
it's,
you know,
it's
that
really
kind of brings
unique
up a
in
good
its own way.
point too. Is you know, you guys are rock, but you're not rock. You guys are country, but you're not country. You're definitely bluegrass, but you're not bluegrass. You know, you're Americana, but you're not really Americana. What is it?
And that's the thing. We
It's
get asked
hard.
that all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Everybody always asks us, so what do you play? What kind of music do you play? And I can't ever really throw it in a genre.
Yeah.
And at first I thought that was a bad thing for marketing sense. You know, it's like,
Sure.
What? How do you call it? What do you call this? How do you tell people what it is
Without saying another artist.
Right.
names.
And it got to the point where I'm just like, you know what? You just have to listen to it and make your own assumption at
Just
that
the
point.
it's the best music we can make.
Yeah, I don't really know what to
that's
call
all
it.
we can
We
do.
honestly play something if we like it, as far as a melody or a riff or something. We build around it, and that's how we build our songs. It's like, man, that's
Some
what
of
we
them are
like.
more country based. Some of them are rock and roll based. It's just whatever sounds good at the moment, you know. And I'm okay with that now.
I am
At first,
too.
I'm not going to say it bothered me, but it was something that you have in the back of your mind, like,
Sure.
what is this? What is this? But it is what it is. Is what it is.
We coined
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
That's what makes you an original band, really. I mean,
Sure.
I think all of these guys are so eclectic in all the music that they listen to that they're definitely inspired by everything.
It'd be
and
interesting to
they
go
morph
back
it
and listen
into.
to somebody interviewing Soundgarden and asking them in
Yeah.
1989.
Right, exactly.
Say, what kind of genre is this?
You don't want to sound like everyone else. You want to be your own band.
We call it flannel rock.
yeah.
And that just kind of stuck.
Yeah, well, you know, we kind of have the same struggle on our side too. It's and we've kind of coined the phrase Heartland rock because it's
That's
red dirt's taken, and we're not from
We're
a red
not
dirt
red
state.
dirt.
Yeah,
We
it's
we get thrown as a red dirt band a lot too.
Yeah.
It's like we're not a red dirt band.
I think that's probably the closest dart that can hit. You know, it's like,
True.
it's-
Hey, wait, Glenn. You could say bread dirt. I always thought that was so cheesy. I just had to tell you that.
Be on the cover of Mad Magazine. Then, you know.
Bread dirt. Just think of a loaf of bread.
Yeah, we kind of came up with that Heartland rock, thinking, you know, well, that would give everybody the idea that we're not rock; it's more country
Right.
than rock.
I like that.
But,
I dig it.
So if you guys want to sign up,
Might
we're-
have to. Yeah, we might have to jump on that bandwagon for sure.
So take me through the writing process, Connor. Do you start this all off and then give Jason and Jake?
Oh
the
yeah, I
lyrics,
write
or-
absolutely every single note. Well, usually it's either one of two things. Usually it's Dale has a riff that just is awesome, and we just sit down and all jam that out, and that's really cool. But a lot of times Jake and Jason will have lyrics with some chord progression going along with that, and they write all the lyrics usually.
So is that a collaborative effort between the two?
Yeah,
You
I
guys
would
kinda-
say we're
Especially
growing
on the
into a
second
group
album.
now that we really collaborate with amongst the group. Obviously, the lyrics are written on this end of the chairs, but the song that I believe we're going to play during this podcast, Connor actually wrote that guitar riff.
Yeah,
Connor, right? He's a great musician. He doesn't just drum. I know we got him in the drummer chair,
Piano, guitar.
but Jake and I heard that guitar riff, and we're like, hold on, man. Play that again. Let me hear that again, and then,
And then Dale
we
got
just
involved with a slide.
Yeah,
we
man.
we just ran with the lyrics on it at that point.
At that
So-
point, we knew we had to write something to
Right,
it. So,
so-
that was one of the first songs that we really built as a band, like where everybody was involved. But
right.
well, like I said, that's how you can tell we're growing because it's used to it was here's the melody, here's the lyrics.
Everybody stayed in their lane, and now it's like
Right.
everybody just drives down the middle of the freeway together.
I love
so that's
hearing
awesome.
songs like that too. You can really tell the difference between a song that somebody wrote and said, "Okay, this is a part that I want you to play," or "Here's how I hear it," and then Connor says, "Well, this is what I think the drums need to sound like," and Dale says, "This is what this needs to sound like."
Right.
And I think you can tell that, you know, and I think Caroline's a good example of that too. That,
Yeah.
you know, that song
Yeah.
you guys have is. You can tell everybody had their own say, and
And that's the way we usually try to do all of our songs, is where everybody has they're their own free spirit. Whatever you feel, just play it, and then we'll just if it's good, it's good. If it's not, we'll work on it. But we've never had the problem of having to go the other way with it. It's usually everybody, when they play their part and they feel it, it's right where it needs to be.
And I'm
So
sure
that's
there's
a
some
good
quality
thing.
control too. Everybody.
Well,
has
you
that,
got to
you know.
QC
Yeah,
it,
for
you know.
sure.
You got to
Yeah.
QC everything.
That's
But-
probably where Monica comes in too.
Monica
handle
will
the
come in
music.
and tell you it's bad.
Yeah, I'll tell you if it's bad, but
You need somebody to do
they're
that.
scared to show me their songs. Actually, they do not show
Well,
them
it's
to me
because
until they're
my
done.
old man was always drunk growing up and be like, you guys suck. I remember he showed up one night, we were playing a song, he was like, don't ever play that song again. All right, Dad. Yeah.
Oh my God!
But
you
now
remember
he's
Cecil.
so proud. He's like, you guys
yeah.
are a lot better than you used to be.
That song had cool parts, but but I'm glad
Yeah,
I'm glad we don't play that.
Yeah,
song
me
anymore.
too.
My dad would shut us down, so me and Jason still have that thing where we're like, let's wait till the song's actually complete. We all know our parts, and then we'll show Monica.
Yeah.
Because we think Monica might be like Dad and come in and just shut it down.
PTSD.
I
there
might
from-
be too honest sometimes with these boys.
It's always good to have that.
It is. It really
Yeah,
is.
there's nothing wrong with it.
Because you guys get married to your stuff, and you know it's like it sounds really good to you because you've been playing it the same way 16 times.
Right. And then you got to get some fresh ears
You're
on
in
it.
touch
You're
with
like,
that emotion, Glenn.
Yeah,
You know what's up.
I do. I take criticism pretty well, so it's Luke is usually our first line of defense in that when we record here in the studio. We think our shit's pretty good, and then all of a
It
sudden,
sucks. Do it again. Do it again.
Which is really what you need from
Yeah.
somebody at
Yeah.
the controls.
That's
And that
their
was-
job.
That was like the one thing we learned after the first record that you were talking about earlier is like, man, when we went in there for the second one, I told the guy that was working with us, who's awesome, we love him. I'll give him a shout out, Craig. But I told him, man, I wish he's the nicest guy in the world. And I said, man, on this one, if you hear something you don't like, tell
be.
us.
Yeah.
I want you to speak up and say what you want. And man, he really did. He took the reins, and that's what, like I said, somebody from behind the controls, like Luke or something. That's what we want from somebody. So that's I don't know. I think that's very important, like you said.
I think it is too, and I think if it wasn't important, you wouldn't have people making millions of dollars being producers.
Exactly.
number one,
It's their job to tell you, hey, that
Yeah.
sucked. Do it
Yeah.
again.
or that's not going to sell.
Change
or,
this part.
whatever.
There's too much going on. Shut up. Whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's exactly how it is. Well, when I was a kid, I listened to a lot of I had no choice, but I'm glad now that my dad listened to 1070 AM, KFDI, and I got to hear a lot of old school country bands.
Me too.
One of the
That's
ones
right.
I can remember to this day is the Leuven Brothers, and
Leuven.
yeah, we're gonna have everybody clicking on their phones right now. looking
Right?
at
The
Leuven Brothers.
Leuven brothers.
One
Better
of
than the Lufa brothers.
One of the things I loved about them is they have what I would consider a blood harmony, because they're brothers. They're not twins, they're brothers, but they float in and out of harmonies and melodies, and I think that's something you guys do so well, and I think it's one of the most attractive parts of your
thank
band
you.
is that
Yeah, appreciate that.
blood harmony is just so cool.
I like that. I like that term. I've never heard that before. That's exactly
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah. It's very
true.
Siblings have something really special in a band.
Right.
Yeah.
I always tell people if we actually practice, we'd be really good. But it just comes natural.
I don't
It's
believe
what
that. I
note are
believe
you
you guys
singing?
practice.
What note are you singing? Okay, I can sing this note.
They split a good egg. They
Yeah, we split a good egg.
They split a good egg.
That's
Well, let's
right.
get into the new album. So, tell me a little bit about what's coming out. What can our fans, or your fans, excuse me, I'm one of them. What can we expect?
This album actually, it differs a lot from the first one for sure. I think the path we took on this is more. I don't know if I'd say rock and roll. Like you said, it's hard to put us in a genre, but there's definitely a lot more southern rock kind of folky
influence in this one for sure.
It's different than the first, but it's still Mountain Dew Revival. Like
Sure.
you can still tell that it's us, but like I said, I think we found a little bit more direction on this, and it was just organically written, and the musicianship is. You can tell we've grown as a band, and excuse me, sorry, I sounded 13 right there.
About to grow up some more, it sounds like.
Yeah, one just dropped. But yeah, everything's. Can I say that? One drop. Sorry.
You can say whatever you want.
That's right. So yeah, you can tell a difference from the two, but I think
I'd say this one's a little heavier than the first album
for sure.
as far as the guitar work goes and that stuff. But it's still, like Jake said, it's Mountain Dew Revival. I still think it sounds like us. It's not as acoustically driven as some of the stuff on the first album, and that doesn't mean that we're not going to do that later on. But on this particular album, this is just kind of what happened, and we just let it happen. Like when we write songs, we just let them kind of go with what they're going to do, and this one. And when the final product came out and we heard it, we're like, yeah, it's a little heavier than the last one, but I like it, and I'm excited for the folks
on
to
the
hear.
edge of something.
Yeah, I mean, as an artist, you always want to do things that might be out of your comfort zone a little bit. And I'm not saying this was out of everybody's comfort zone, but it was definitely one of those things where you have to look outside the box a little bit and step out and do some cool things. And I think it turned out great. I'm excited for it.
I think we're going to hear it. I think we're going to have Luke play, is it Dim Bones?
Yeah, Dim Bones. Yeah,
Dim
this
Bones.
is one that I don't think we've we've had played live yet. Or
This is going to
on
be
the
an
road.
exclusive because you guys are going to be releasing the CD just after this podcast is going to come out. So
There you go.
you're actually going to get to hear it first right here on the
Hell
Thirsty
yeah.
Thursday
Absolutely.
Spotlight.
Awesome.
So
Oh yeah.
We're
Okay.
excited.
Here we go.
Friend, can't you hear when that steel grinds the steel? That heavy train is pulling, it drives the sparks up from the rails. Friend, won't you listen when I say the world moves fast? Don't let them break your spirit. You know hard times, they don't last. No, they don't last. Them bones, gonna make a man feel old. Them bones, it's a tragic story told. Diving in the bottle to forget the pains, like jumping in the river to avoid the rain. Jumping in the river to avoid the rain. Stoned on sour mash, we made a pact, me and him. Don't put me under the cold dark dirt, cause that won't be the end. So I drove across West Texas in the blazing August heat, in a two-door Eldorado with his ashes next to me. And right outside Lake Tanglewood, in the spot we spoke about, I poured my best friend from his urn and watched the north wind take him south. Yeah, he went down south. Them bones, gonna make a man feel old. Them bones, it's a tragic story told. Diving in the bottle to forget the pains, like jumping in the river to avoid the rain. Jumping in the river to avoid the rain. Them bones, gonna make a man feel old. Them bones, it's a tragic story told. Diving in the bottle to forget the pains, like jumping in the river to avoid the rain. Jumping in the river to avoid the rain.
Damn.
man,
Felt that.
what a song! So let me tell you, I'll give you guys some honesty right here. When I heard it was gonna be Dim Bones, I thought, man, this can't be a lyrical masterpiece with a title like that. God, what was I wrong?
You know, I'm a guy.
Jake, man.
I love good lyrics, man.
smashed
That
it.
song's got it.
It really does, you know, and I'm honestly kind of not one to pay a lot of attention to lyrics. I've just been more about the music kind of guy. I feel the music more than I identify with the lyrics. So I tend to not pay a lot of attention a lot of times to the content of so, but that made me feel something. Like, I know it's for real when it actually makes you feel it. Like, and then it made me pay attention.
Well, I'm gonna go the
Awesome.
opposite of you this time too. I'm a lyrics guy. That's what I listen to first. But I could not get my ears off of how everything was just layered in, one right after another.
That undeniable rhythm.
That is a
that's awesome.
well-written, well-produced song, fellas.
Yeah,
you guys
very,
should be
very
proud.
nice.
Thank you.
Glenn.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If the rest of the album's like that, man.
Oh yeah.
We're excited about it.
Yeah.
We think we got some good ones on there.
So
this
take
time.
me through that song. How'd this one start?
So like Connor said earlier, what we were talking about, Connor had that riff, and it's for the people listening. Connor is the drummer.
That's right.
So Connor had that riff that he had been kind of playing around with at practice, and obviously, like you guys just said, it's kind of catchy. So you're like, what the hell is that? So he ended up showing it to us and everything, and we'd kind of been jamming that around, just the music side of it at practice for a little bit, and then Jason came to me not long after that and said that he'd wrote a chorus, and Dim Bones is actually based off we got a guy that goes with us and runs our sound a lot of times, Rusty Patterson, Mr. Patterson, the silver-haired fox.
Legend.
And,
Silver fox.
When he does
That's
that, and other people can attest to this that he's worked with, he carries a bag of little shooter bottles of whiskey and Fireball and all kinds of different
I've been in his bag
smorgasbord.
The
And he
bone bag.
He calls it the bone
That's
bag.
right.
So we'd always talked about writing a song about Rusty, and that song's not about Rusty, obviously, but Jason wrote that chorus about basically the bone bag. He's talking about, drinking and diving in the river.
I ran into an old man.
Jumping in the river to avoid the rain. I
yeah.
love that, man.
Yeah, well, I ran into this old man and we started talking, and that's where that phrase come from. I didn't catch his name, but he was on oxygen and kind of telling me his life story or whatever, and how he'd overcome some things and didn't overcome other things. And he said that phrase about when jumping in the river to avoid the rain was basically how he lived his life. And I just I went home with that, and the alcohol, and things like that. Everybody's knows somebody that's battled with that type of stuff. So that was kind of the idea for the song. So I showed it to Jake, and
we had the riff at that point, the chorus, and I was like, man. So it took me a little while to try to connect all the dots as far as where I wanted it, where it needed to go, because obviously I didn't want to write about certain things that I thought were generic and things like that. So
that's what my thought was when I heard the title.
yeah, exactly.
Honestly,
and
that title's been used
super
before.
surprised.
Yeah,
super surprised.
and then you have the chorus, and it could go so many different ways what that's talking about, and so it took me a little bit of thought process, and then one night it just all fell out on paper, and I wrote basically the verses to it, and we took it back to the house, and it turned into that, and we were like, all right, that's how we're supposed to be writing songs.
I think one of the things that I really liked about it too, Connor, was that, man, you did what a pro drummer does, and you didn't overplay that song, because there's so many opportunities to overplay. Mm-hmm. This song wants to just blow up at points, but you kept it right at the edge of anticipation, so everybody who's listening would know, hey, there's something coming up next.
Yeah, and that song just grooves, man, and that lyric is so cool. You don't want to cover it up, so it's almost like strip it away and just listen to the lyric and then back into the groove. You don't want to muddy it up too much, or
Was that one of the ones you got in one take?
I mean, every time.
He does.
Great answer.
He does.
But
One take
you did.
Connor, man.
He is one take Connor, but he
Yeah.
actually did get to play a different percussion instrument on this
Oh, yeah.
particular
Yeah,
song.
man.
If you
My
listen
favorite.
very
We were really
closely,
excited about it.
it was our favorite
We
part.
were recording some final stuff on that, like adding some shaker and touching up some harmonies
The
and
salt and
stuff.
pepper at the end of the
That's
project.
right. That's right.
And I saw this glorious instrument sitting over there, and I was like, dude, we have to add that in. The old vibra slap.
The
man, it was
vibrant
fun.
slap.
So we added it to the list of instruments that Connor can play, because he was
Anyone can play that one.
he
That's
beat
a
that
great
thing like a
instrument.
Sunday morning hard on.
See, and the bridge
It's kind of how you play it
Excuse
too.
my language, Monica. So
Jason put his guitar part on the bridge part, and that finished it. Like,
Yeah, there was
he has a
some
really
good
cool thing that floats over the whole thing, and
I dig that
like we
about
just
music, man.
we weren't happy with it, and he put that riff in, and it just finished it. It sounded so cool.
Well, that song came together pretty quick, if I
it
remember
did.
right.
Yeah,
it
it
did.
did.
It
It
was
did.
fast.
That's
a
how you can
great
tell
song.
it's on. You're on the right path with it.
Well, it's going to be on my playlist, I tell you, and I don't know if you guys know this or not, but
Can you give us that 69 cents up front?
yeah, I'd give it to you right now.
Yeah, we'd like to have that up front,
If you would.
just so we know it happened.
I have a playlist that I play in between our sets when we play out, and it's local music. You know, it's got you guys, it's got some other bands in town, and the most consistent question I get is, who are those guys when you guys are playing? You know, but I always lie to them, say it's us.
I was about to say. I was about to ask you, how many times has your badass band on your playlist?
We don't play ourselves on the playlist, but
Yeah,
so let's talk some business, Monica. When's this coming out?
So we are releasing it August 17th.
Right after this podcast.
Yeah,
then.
just
Heck
right
yeah.
after. And they're also having their CD release party on August 17th as well at Cowtown, which
How
we're
did you
really
get that
excited.
happening, man?
She's awesome.
What a cool
Doing what she does.
What a cool place to release a CD.
Absolutely. We wanted to do something obviously completely different than any other band has done, you know, around. We were talking about venues and, you know, obviously Wave got brought up. Wave is a brand new venue here in Wichita. And then we had
Awesome venue, by the way.
awesome venue. We love playing there. You know, we just wanted to kind of stand out, do something to thank Wichita for supporting us for all these years and for coming out to all the shows. And, you know, we know that a lot of times we have family and friends that come out or that can't make it out because they have kids. So we wanted to make it an all ages kind of thing and just kind of blow it out, have a big party.
Well, one of the things that I like the most about your promotion campaign so far up to this point is that, you know, the little video you have at Cowtown and the pictures you've been adding. You didn't come out with everything at once. You just kind of been slowly milking this into, you know, and I'm sure that's all you. I mean, I think it's well done. I think it's a well done promotional campaign, and I wish that I could be there on the 17th, but of course I can't, you know, but
You'll be there in spirit.
I'll be one of the first to buy it on iTunes, I promise.
Yeah.
So
You're in our hearts, Glenn.
I know,
always.
man. That's the worst part about being in a band and being a music lover, man.
Right?
It's like,
It's hard to
Oh, I
make
know.
shows.
Yeah.
You just miss everything
Yeah.
you want to see because you got something else going on.
Yeah.
Glenn, you ought to get you a cardboard cutout like most DJs have in the corner. Usually somebody
Just call me a DJ.
There you go.
Now I'm a DJ.
That would not work.
MJ, music jockey. What do you call it, Glenn? He's a man of many hats.
Glenn.
Yeah, but get your own self cardboard cutout. We can just haul it around on stage with us and stuff. So you'll feel like
That'd
you're
be
there.
awesome.
I'd get one and put it in my room. I really would. I'd be like,
That's weird. That's getting
That's
weird.
a little weird. That's a little weird.
Okay,
Hold
very
that mic a little closer. We didn't hear you.
I do think, though, that it's, like I said, it's very cool that you guys have Monica because I don't know. Since you've had her since the beginning, I don't know if you know what a real value it is to have somebody that's just taking care of these things back and forth because
And actually doing it, not
And
just
actually
talking
doing
about
It's
it.
so much work.
It's a lot of
She's
work.
our biggest asset. She is definitely our biggest asset, and we are but simple-minded men
We love
sometimes,
her.
and it's easy to get sidetracked and overlook it. But we do try to show her our appreciation when we can,
Yeah.
and how
She,
much we love her. So I
Monica
think that's
comes
why she sticks around.
Not only from the marketing background, which helped us immensely. She actually comes from in high school, she was the wrestling team manager
Oh,
for
yeah.
the boys.
Oh,
So
yeah. I'm used to hanging out
she
with
had
her.
a lot of
Yes,
experience about
knuckleheads.
telling us how to to fucking answer her when she has.
Oh, it drives
you
me
should
nuts.
see some of the group texts. And we'll some of us may be busy and we forget or something, and she'll give you 6 or 7 hours, and then
I need an answer
and
now.
then it's like, did you not see that text? Like, tell me right now what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Well,
Or I'm doing it the way I want to do it, and you ain't gonna like that.
Yep.
She's good at it.
she can attest that I've
She's
been
good.
on her for 2 years trying to get her to manage us too, and she
We
is
keep her
devoted
pretty
to you
busy.
guys.
We
She
just
says
keep her
she
really
doesn't have
busy.
time.
Yeah.
I think if she gave up her actual job, she'd be pretty rich because any band that picked her up,
She's
she'd
had a
be
lot
able to-
of people that have approached, and that conversation has happened between all of us, and I don't know. She's definitely entertaining the thought of maybe getting some
We'll see.
others on board.
Yeah.
She is definitely good at it, obviously, and,
Well, just
and we
remember-
love her more than anything. And if
Just
she did
remember
do
I
that, we
asked several
support her.
times.
right?
Yeah.
She's great. She is.
I love doing this. Like they said, this is definitely a family thing, and these boys are my best friends in the world. I'd rather be with them every single weekend than sometimes
a
my
sister?
family. No sister. Sorry. Got a little brother, a lot of
Sorry,
nieces.
Glenn.
Well, we got a little brother, so yeah, I don't know.
But yeah,
I
love
guess
these
it'd be
boys.
okay to get them on going. So you guys mentioned the Wave. That's a cool venue. You guys have played the Cotillion several times. To take me back to when you first started, like in 2011, 2012. What were some of your bucket list venues that you were going to play that you guys thought this
Definitely
is
the
what-
Cotillion.
Cotillion.
I mean,
Yeah,
obviously,
for sure.
being here in Wichita, that was like all of us have memories at the Cotillion. So
Sure.
it's-
Oh yeah.
I think we all remember where we were at when we got the call. As far as it was one of those situations. I remember Jason and I was still living at his house at that time. We were living together, and we had talked about. We played that Riverfest show with Connor and Matt that we had just talked about earlier, and
Ryan Stevens was actually at
we were
the
pretty
show,
new, and we had heard that a cotillion guy was there watching supposedly, and you take that as you take that, you're like, yeah, whatever, who cares? So it was true, and we had talked about it, Jason and I, before that, like how cool it would be if the cotillion called, and it wasn't 3 or 4 days, and we got the call, and we were
That's
like, holy
awesome.
shit. Yeah,
Was it Eli Young Band or Josh
Josh
Abbott?
Abbott.
Yeah, Josh Abbott.
Abbott was the first one. But it was so cool. I just, it's one of those deals, when you walk up there and you see the burn marks on the floor from the cigarettes on the stage, and you think about all the history that's been in that room.
And you
that's
first
what
feel
makes
that
that place
kick
so
drum.
iconic. Yeah,
That
and
sound- that
the
sound
round
check,
mound of
first kick
sound.
drum.
Yeah, it's just the way that
You
goes
played
through
there,
there.
Glenn.
Smell.
Yeah,
You know
you know
that
what we're
feel.
talking about.
Like that
Smell
stage
what
is
it
amazing.
It's the smell too. It's just,
Alex Thomas was at our show Sunday, and we were
Great guy.
talking just about the smell, and he said it's gone now. He's ripped up all the carpet.
Yeah.
He's done
so
a lot
much
of work.
It
in
looks
there.
really
It
good.
does
It's
look
nice.
awesome.
It is. It's really
He's
nice.
done a great job. Shout out to Alex.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, of course, the Cotillion Wave. What are some venues? And these don't have to be in Wichita. What are some of your bucket lists now that you guys have put your time in? And where's next for Monica to start working on?
Canes.
Oh,
Billy
Bob's.
awesome.
Canes.
Yeah, we're
Billy
working on
Bob's.
Canes and obviously like Billy Bob's in Texas. But one that we did get to play that I was really happy and fortunate about was Mercury Lounge there in Tulsa.
Oh yeah,
It's a
It was
pretty cool,
it's one of them
iconic little
things where-
place.
Yeah, it's an iconic little bar, and
What was
When
it? Wormy Dog.
the Wormy Dog was cool too.
Wormy
We got to
Dog.
play the Wormy Dog right before it closed.
Yeah,
Right
one of the
before it
last
closed.
shows there.
Yeah.
That was a cool place.
That was a special one too for us. So
Navy Pier.
Yeah, Navy Pier has been awesome too
Yeah.
in Chicago.
Chicago, yeah.
We've been very
Chicago's
fortunate.
amazing.
We've got to play some really neat places. But
I got to see Robert Earl Keen at the Navy Pier.
Really?
Yeah, I sure did.
That's
Man.
a cool show.
that'd be
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, it was hippie fest, man. Let me tell you. Yeah, yeah. I got to see.
Did you have tie dye on?
No, man. We were going to Chicago for something, and I think I won tickets on the radio, and I didn't. This was 15 years ago. I didn't know who
1987.
I didn't even know who Robert Earl Keen
That's
was. And the only thing that I knew was a reference of a Todd Schneider song. Keep Off the Grass, or I can't remember which Todd Schneider song, but yeah, it was crazy cool. But yeah, I like I told Luke before this interview, I would not be surprised to see you guys at a venue like that in the near future. I think it's
Sounds like it's on its way.
on
You
its
too,
way.
Glenn.
So,
Thanks, guys.
We appreciate that.
We're trying to keep working hard, and that's where we want to be. So,
Well, that's where we all want you to be too.
Well, I appreciate that.
and that's
Red Rocks. That'd be
Oh,
amazing.
Red Rocks. Oh, my God.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
So Connor, what do you think? What do you think's next for you guys?
Oh man, Cowtown.
Cowtown.
That's right.
Yeah.
Cowtown's pretty
August
close.
17th
That's
coming
right,
up right
August
after
17th.
this.
You can get
Good
tickets
answer.
online right now.
You can.
That's
And
awesome,
we
too.
got actors for the day.
No
so
kidding.
there's going to be people hanging out. Actors. We got a couple gunfights in store. Timmy
Yeah,
Jonas and the Whiskey Militia.
Not
Man,
real
I haven't heard
gunfights.
PC in the big
Leave your
rig?
weapons at home, people.
Might be a couple of sword
BC.
fights. We're gonna be serving booze down there too.
So we got some booze,
Sword fights later.
That's right. Sword fights and gun fights.
food trucks. Have a little French fry
Bathtub
fight.
hooch.
Real party.
So what's it like for you guys now that you've got? I would say you've got a little success. It's probably a little easier for you to book places that you want to play as much as you want to play. Would you say that our music scene is better now than it was in 2011, or you think we're?
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
I think it grows so fast every week. I mean, it's ridiculous to me. The last 10 years, especially, just the way the scene has grown.
It's
The way,
blossomed.
it's a great thing to be a part of, and we're just happy to be.
We always talk about it too. We're like, man, we're so fortunate that
We
we're in
really
this little
are.
bubble right now where Wichita is just actually taking the reins on being the music artsy place that it's always been. That just people
Sure.
didn't know that it was here. And we're finally, I don't know, you're seeing so much good music come out of here and so
People.
much good
It's a great
original
thing.
art. It's amazing. I feel like we're so fortunate to be in that little bubble right now because
And
it's
not
happening
just
for
one
us.
genre either.
No, it's everything.
No,
I mean,
people are coming to shows. It's
yeah,
amazing.
and that's the thing.
That-
yeah,
it-
people
Go
are
to
actually
shows.
going out
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, that's the
It's
thing.
awesome.
And to kind of speak to that, I can tell you, I have 3 songs in production right now by 3 different artists about Wichita, that have Wichita in their names and in the choruses.
That's nice.
And I've never seen that. You know, awesome. the fact that these are three totally set. These bands don't even know each other, and bands are producing songs about Wichita right
There's
now.
a lot of pride.
It's here.
There's a lot of pride.
Yeah, it really is.
It's great.
So if you were to give some advice, Dale, what would be your advice to a new up and coming Heartland rock band? Or a new metal band, since you're a metal master too?
Work. Play your ass off. When you're alone, with your dudes, chicks, whoever, just grind. Make flour out of corn.
That's right.
Like, seriously. Like, that's what you have to do. You want to get good, you have to put in the work.
I think if somebody were to look at you guys introspectively on the outside to see, and take notes of what they could do to become a better band, I think one of the things that they would first notice about you is your chemistry, though.
Yes.
And I think that's always important, too, is to find people that have like goals. And I think that's something that probably Monica can attest to the most. These guys probably all have the same goals.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that all of us were working our asses off just to, we all want to do this for a living. This is our passion for all of us. We miss birthday parties on the weekends or graduations or dinners to do this all the time, other shows.
Sure.
And it's a lot of sacrifice, and people think it's fun to tour, and it's fun, but it's also really hard.
It's work.
For the first week, it's real fun.
Yeah, for the first week.
Yeah.
So
and then, you get stuck in a van full of,
Sweaty
5
guys.
smelly guys. And I'm the only one cleaning the van. And then you're sleeping, sleeping on the bench. I mean, luckily we each have our own bench that we can sleep on. But, I a couple times have driven through the night, from like...
Monica's been our little angel a couple of times.
Got us to Chicago one night while we slept.
In the
It was
fog.
the heaviest fog I've ever
God.
seen.
It was-
Literally, it was ridiculous. I woke up and I was like, "Holy shit!"
I went right
The
back
mist.
to sleep, which I usually can't do, but I was like, I really don't want to know if we die tonight, so I'm just going to go back.
It was scary.
But
It's gonna
she
be a
drove us to
Richie Valens.
Colorado Springs, too, all through the
Springs,
night.
yeah.
So
Springs, man.
She's definitely, like you said, Glenn, she is a driving force.
Had to take an
for us.
Adderall,
Literally.
keep awake. Not gonna
It was
lie.
prescribed, by the way,
prescribed.
people.
Sorry, Mom.
Somebody had a prescription.
That's a good point you guys are bringing up. Talking about Colorado Springs,
pill
Chicago. I know you played in Nashville. How do we compare here in Wichita to some of those music scenes? Because let me tell you, Colorado Springs has got a music scene.
Oh yeah.
So does Chicago. So does Nashville, of course. How do we compare to a Nashville, for example?
I can say honestly, this is always the most fun show for me is when we're at home. I mean, if that's I don't know if that's a comparison, but I always have the most. No matter where else we've played, when we play a home show and it blows up and it's fun, you'll never beat that.
We bring it.
Yeah. To me, I would say that it compares. I don't know. I might have a biased opinion, but on the top. But I don't know. That's just me. Like I said, the scene's come so far. It's a great thing. You want to be home.
So, Jake, if I give you a check and said it was endless and you could write a check to solve whatever problem we have here in Wichita, what would you think that problem was that could be fixed with money?
Man, that's a really good question.
Got it.
There's the
Dang.
Every
Just
time.
dropped it on me.
I need to carry a hammer in
Had
here.
that handle like, dang, what problem would I fix?
Every interview,
with
it's
an
like,
endless
I did
amount of
not
money?
expect that question.
Marijuana. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I mean,
That was not Jake that said that disclosure. That was Jason Coffee.
Blame it on
Yeah, he's your
your
libertarian representative for mayor this year. So vote for Jason.
I'd vote
What
for
would
You'd
I
win.
fix? Yeah, I don't know, man. There's so much that doesn't have to be fixed, but really, I would tear down that new stadium they're building. I don't think it even needs to be down there. I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
I think we could have done something better. Longwell, but
Anvil.
yeah, I'm dropping the hammer now. No, I don't know. I'm hoping it works out great. Really, I don't know what I would do with an endless check as far as problems in Wichita. There's I would just donate it to things that really need to be taken care of. Like,
Highway infrastructure.
yeah, highway infrastructure is important to me. No, seriously, there's. I don't know, Glenn. Why the fuck did you ask me that?
It's just going to get an
Because
insight.
money doesn't fix
It's
anything.
exactly
Money
right.
never
Exactly
fixes.
what I was
See,
going
look, you should have answered the question.
Yeah.
Money never really fixes anything.
It's
It's got
just
to
a
come from
tool.
the heart, Glenn.
Yeah, exactly.
I can fix my truck.
That's
though.
exactly right.
So what can people expect on the 17th, Monica?
like they said, a little bit of booze,
A little bit of booze.
a little bit of food, some awesome tunes. We got 3 badass bands that are going to be playing.
Who else playing with you?
Timmy Jonas and the Whiskey Militia.
Where has he been, man?
This is a
Where has he
reunion
been?
show, man. That's why you got to be
Show.
there. This is a
Yeah.
reunion.
He's
It's a
been taking care
reunion
of that
show.
baby.
That's
It took a little bit of convincing to get him back out, but
dig the shit
we're
out of
so
Timmy.
happy.
He's a good dude.
They're
man.
awesome.
They're
Yeah,
are really
he's so
good
great.
friends. BC and the Big Rig out of Tulsa. They're also
Another great band.
Good friends
another
of
band I
ours.
would not be surprised to hear on the radio
Right.
any given
They're
time.
excellent.
Yeah, that's how we feel about them too.
Oh, yeah.
It's,
Superb.
Tell you
Although
what, you
these
don't-
guys think it's a little bit harder to play after them
I was
sometimes.
going to say, that's one of those
Yes.
bands you don't want to follow.
Yeah.
And you know you're friends with them when you like know you have to follow them. Like, come
Yeah.
on up. We're going to play after you.
yeah,
Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah,
but they're good friends.
They
man.
make us better too.
They
That's
do.
They're
That's
great.
what it's all about.
If we play with somebody like that, you know, when you play with somebody that's better than you and they open, then you know you got to bring your shit. So.
That's kind of why
Iron
I
sharpens iron.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's kind of why I was
It's
glad
inspiring.
you guys couldn't
That's-
make it to my birthday party that year because I didn't not want to follow you.
You
guys.
did. It's a tough task. Let me tell you.
Hey, I went to that show.
Yeah.
I bought your CD at that.
That's right, man.
I didn't have enough cash to buy
Glenn,
a
you
shirt.
can play for like 7 hours.
Yeah.
That's,
He
we don't
can.
want to follow.
We got to
you.
make up for it somewhere.
Yeah, right.
Oh, come on.
I told Kenny that when he called to give you guys a shout too. Kenny told us that he was playing with Tequila Ridge, your band.
Kenny Young.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, Glenn knows like 400 songs. He goes, yeah, I'm still trying to work all that shit out. I said, good luck, bud.
50 at a time.
Right?
Well, guys, that does us for us today. I want to give a special shout out and thanks to Mountain Dew Revival for being in the studio with us on the
Awesome.
Thirsty Thursday
Yeah, thank you,
podcast.
guys.
Thank you,
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you, dudes.
Make sure you go over to their website. It's mountaindeerrevival.com, correct? And they're also on Instagram. They're on Facebook. Give them a like on Facebook.
That's right.
I think they're everywhere where social media is found. They're on iTunes. They're on Google Play. They're on Spotify. Man,
If you're in the
you can't
Wichita
find
area, I
them-
might pop up on your Tinder. It
That's-
just depends.
FarmersOnly.com.
FarmersOnly.com.
He's on all that shit.
That's right. Keep them coming.
Make sure you listen to us on ict-radio.com or on your favorite podcast app. Give us a like and a subscribe. We'd appreciate that. Luke, thanks for having us down here at the beautiful Red Cat recording.
Thank you,
We got a
Glenn.
Red
Look,
Cat
it's
sign.
One of
beautiful.
your finest. Your work is coming right along.
I
Very
appreciate
nice.
it, man.
Very nice. Thank
It's-
you, Mountain Deer Revival.
So easy.
Thanks,
You
you
guys are
guys.
so good. So
Yeah, they kind of could have just sat in here.
yeah, I
and,
think we could have just pushed record and we could have been in the swimming pool.
Right?
That's kind of what we
No,
did.
sir. No, sir. Glenn, thank you very much.
You guys make
MDR,
sure to find
thank you.
Mountain Deer Revival online, listen to their stuff, buy their CDs. They want your 69 cents like they've got mine. So
Not yet, we don't.
as of now, this is Glenn signing off from the Thirsty Thursday Spotlight on ict-radio.com.
Adios.
Bye, guys.
Recorded live at Red Cat Recording, Peck, Kansas. Hosted by Glenn Shipman.
Man, that was a good interview, man. I can't. Man, I'm so excited for what we have going on with Glenn and Luke over there,
Special thank you
over there at
to
Red
Mountain
Cat,
Dew
and Glenn,
Revival.
everything he does
Find
for us.
them on
It's just crazy. I'm so excited that we got some
Adios.
very like-minded individuals on board with what we're doing, and the sky's the limit. I think you're going to continue to see really fucking awesome things happening with everything that we do. I mean, we're getting some major traction thanks to James, the jalapeno eating champion, and the incredible artists that are willing to take time out of their day to come talk to us, and just the support of all the listeners is tremendous. So if you could, please subscribe to our podcast on any platform. And basically, we're everywhere. So, I mean, if you're on Google or Spotify or Podbean, which is our main source, iTunes, any of those places, just subscribe and give us a 5-star rating. That way we can be seen a lot more, and people outside of our area will get to be hearing this stuff, which is already happening. So it's just tremendous. We can't thank you guys enough. But first, we can't forget our sponsors, Tim, the ones that make this possible.
No, we can't. We're gonna start out with our first sponsor, and that's Top Shot Paint Repair. You can visit their website at topshotpaint.com. They specialize in hail damage, minor collision repair, marine fiberglass repair. They do bed liners, window tinting, and more importantly, they work with all insurance companies.
That's huge.
That is huge. I mean, it can be a real hassle with insurance companies, I know. They're located right next to the arena at 423 South St. Francis And you can reach them by phone at 316-260-4022. That's 316-260-4022. And once again, you can visit their website at topshoppaint.com. Thanks, guys.
Last but not least, for this episode, we have Alpha Heating and Air. Now, I'm an actual customer of this company, Tim, and I got nothing but good things to say. I got a new LG unit in my house for my upstairs because my upstairs was hot, and knowing I'm having a kid, I decided to move my kid, my current kid, the one that's here, upstairs because I needed another space for this new kid, right? You just got to kick the kid to the curb upstairs. Anyways.
That's what happens. That's what happens to the
Anyways,
oldest.
it was so hot up there that it was okay during the spring, the fall, the winter, but in the summertime, it's unbearable up there. So I got with Alpha Heating and Air, and they hooked me up with an awesome LG unit. They'll come out and do free estimates on new installations, but more importantly, they do work with all other brands. If they're maintaining them or you have a problem with their unit, they'll come out there and fix it. They are doing a tune-up special where if you have a problem, call them, $75. You can call them at 316-765-4492. Dude, I'm so happy with it. My electric bill has not went up. It's hardly noticeable, maybe $5 a month by adding an additional unit to my house. 10-year warranty. They are an LG and York dealer. So, those are super high-efficient machines. York is manufactured, I think, here in Wichita, as a matter of fact. And you know the LG name. It's pretty high efficient product, and I couldn't be happier, man. So take my word for it. I'm vouching for them. They came out, got it done in about half a day, which was incredible. And I was off to the races. My kid's happy upstairs. I'm happy because I don't have to listen to him complain about how hot it is. And overall, I'm just happy because now I can use a space in my house that I couldn't use before, and I know it's going to be a reliable unit. And he tuned up my current downstairs AC, so I know I'm good to go for the summer. It's still very hot outside, and I have no question that I know I'm well taken care of, and my unit's not going to crash and burn on me. So give them a call today at 316-765-4492. Once again, that's Alpha Heating and Air. Tim, this has been a great episode, man.
Yeah, it's been fun, man. Thanks for inviting me to do it. Yeah, man. Looking forward to all the good things that we got coming down the road.
Yep. We got some people on the books, I know, at the studio over there. So
yes, we do. And I'm looking forward to all of those. I'm not going to spoil any of those, but we got some heavy hitters coming in.
And we're also very hard at work in the background doing some other things that you wouldn't expect us to do because we've been really focused on music for quite some time, but we're also expanding out beyond that. Isn't that right, Tim?
Yes, we are, and I can't be more excited about it. It's something I've always wanted to do. Something more talk show related. And I don't know. Are we talking about this?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying look forward to what we have coming because nothing is officially out yet. Although we are working hard in the background here on some of these things.
Yeah, we are.
I sent you a intro song to something today, and who knows what's going to come of it. But yeah. I know Derrick's hard at work as well, doing another thing as well, which I assume that's going to come out pretty soon. To be determined, but that's going to revolve around sports.
Yep.
Which is something we leave out of the Thirsty Thursday predominantly. We like to talk about music and here and drinking and shit like that and what's going on in this podcast. But there's going to be some stuff coming up that might interest some other listeners, and we feel like maybe some of you might also be interested in these other things as well because it's going to be entertaining and this is going to be fun.
And we enjoy doing it. I mean, yes, we really do. We really enjoy, bringing this stuff to you guys, and hopefully you enjoy what we're doing. If you guys ever have any comments or suggestions, send us an email because we're completely open and down for even criticisms,
Yep. If you don't like what we're doing, tell us. But I don't know if we'll listen. But definitely
be nice.
Like our page, Thirsty Thursday Podcast. It's on Facebook. It's got a bunch of beer bubbles and pretty sweet logo, might I add. But yeah, like our page, share our page, tell people about us. We're just here to have a good time, promote local artists on this podcast, and have fun, talk about what's going on around Wichita. And we can't thank you guys enough for listening. Please subscribe to our podcast so you can get them when they get released. Because we have been giving away tickets on our podcast. So if you want a chance to win said tickets, which we don't currently have, but we do occasionally, if you subscribe, you have a good shot at winning them. So that being said, we're going to leave you with a hip hop submission we got. Tim?
Oh, yes. This is another one of those that as soon as I heard it, I was like, yep, it's good to go. We didn't get any social media stuff from this guy, though.
He kind of sent it by, but, we couldn't find him. So we might have to do some connecting the dots here to figure out where his page is, but we'll get it sorted out, I think.
Yeah, it's currently in rotation, though. I can tell you that much.
So we hope you enjoy this brand new song. If you haven't heard it on the station, you're hearing it now. We present to you Chris Carter with Money on My Mind. Hope you guys enjoy. See you guys next week.
Money on my mind, money on my mind. I got money on my mind, make my name live forever. Money on my mind, make my name live forever. I know y'all fuck with this one. Hey. I got money on my mind, money on my mind. We come as one and they can't divide us. I want it all and I'm picking pockets. Blasting off like I got the rocket. Shorty mad, now she out of pocket. I had dreams of chilling in the tropics. Bagged it up and sold for better options. I mean lyrically, yeah she look good, but do I fuck with her mentally? Mama always told me never let these hoes get to me, but still these hoes get to me. Hey. Looking for another me that's gonna be hard to find. My bills need paid and I'm running out of time. Unc said get it, boy, you know I had to grind. I was lost in the dark, but it's finally time to shine on me. Money on my mind, my name gon' live forever. I ain't mad smart, but I think I'm kinda clever. Caught them slipping, now they falling like Crunk pulled the lever. I'm a mouse in the maze, I've been sniffing out this cheddar. Can't say I made it now, but damn I'm living better. Still living check to check, but my room's getting bigger. My car getting nicer and my bitch getting finer. I got money in the bank, I don't need no designer on me. Money on my mind, my name gon' live forever. These rap niggas rats, they gon' snitch for the cheddar. I ain't tryna brag, but I know I'm fucking better, and they know I'm fucking better. Money on my mind, make my name live forever. I got money on my mind, money on my mind on me. Gotta keep it copacetic, gotta keep it moving. Damn, all these beats I'm abusing. Damn, car to kill for amusement. Heard a couple tracks, now I got your bitch choosing. Oh man, money on my mind and my name live forever. Hey. I got money on my mind and my name live forever on me. Money on my mind, make my name live forever.